Hello, one last time, SCM2024 chat. I'm Carter, aka it has been my honor and my pleasure to host the event for you the past few hours. We've had an amazing weekend with some incredible runs, one of the most exciting relay races I've ever seen. So many wonderful, generous donations and merch giveaways to benefit Save the Children. It's really meant a lot to me to be able to be here with all of you, and I really appreciate being able to be part of this community and do this awesome event year after year. It's been a great one, and it's not over yet. We have one last run, and to introduce that, I'm going to turn things over to all of our favorite Canadian blood god, Hattie. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Carter?
Good, dude. Take it from here, and I will be watching in chat later, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Well, hello, everybody. I'm a Hattie, and you're stuck with me for the next little while. But we have a great run of any percent Elden Ring plus DLC, so that'll be cool. I've never seen the DLC personally yet, so it'll be new. But we have Mitchriz running and Blanks commentating, so take it away, guys.
Hello, I'm Mitchriz. Yeah, this run, I like to call it Two Gods, because it sounds nicer than any percent plus DLC Glitchless. It's just too much. So Two Gods is what I'm going to be calling it. But basically, yeah, we got to go through all of the base game and kill Elden Beast. That's the god at the end of the base game. And we got to go through all the DLC, kill Consort Radahn. I'm going to call him Conrad because I think it's funny. That's the god of the DLC. We get those two done. Bada bing, bada boom. That is the category. So with me here, I have my commentator, Blanks.
Hello, everybody. I'm Blanks. You guys may have seen my bingo run earlier in this marathon against Nuclear Pasta Tom. Actually, we had Mitch commentating, so I'm back with more Elden Ring. That's kind of my bread and butter these days. Both of us, Mitchriz and I, are very active Elden Ring runners, and I'm really excited because I actually haven't ran this category yet myself. I've ran the separate any percent glitchless and DLC percent glitchless categories, but never together. So I'm excited to see how this pans out. I'm gonna leave it over to Mitchriz to start up the run and give us a countdown. So I'll be here on comms for the next couple hours, and I hope you guys enjoy the run.
Absolutely. So here I'm going to go ahead and get into the character creator. We create our character. SCM, why not? Start with Lands Between Rune. We'll explain that in a bit, but yeah, should be all ready to get it started up. So we can go ahead and start the timer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right. Good luck, Mitch. So you want to give us a little bit of a backstory of what we're doing here? Who are we in this game, and what's our goal?
Oh, like a lore?
Yep.
I don't know lore. What do you mean? That's
all right.
Like for
I got you. So we are a graceless tarnished. Okay, and our goal is to seek the Elden Ring. We were awoken by the guidance of grace, and now we have just spawned inside of this chapel, and we are now gonna be running off of a cliff, because that's, you know, the most optimal way to start off a speedrun is by just dying instantly.
Classic FromSoft. There's a tutorial boss. It's faster to die.
Yeah. You want to trigger the boss fight, though, first. You don't just want to jump off. Like, you want to at least trigger the boss fight, or else you'll just spawn back in the chapel. We get brought to the stranded graveyard, and we basically wake up. They give us our flasks, like our healing items, and I mean, you'll see this run starting out very similarly to how most Souls games start out, with like running through like a tutorial level and then getting all your starting equipment and whatnot. So got a bit of a banger here today because have we seen Two Gods before at a marathon? I don't know if you've ran it before at a GDQ and whatnot. This might be the first time, but correct me if I'm wrong about that.
This is the first time I've ran Two Gods, and I'm one of only a few runners that does it, so I'd be willing to wager this is the first time it's been shown off at a marathon. Nope, I lied to you all. Actually, I did it one time at a little mini GDQ event at I think it was at PAX, but yeah, first time at SCM for sure. I mean, the DLC only came out fairly recently, so it would make sense that this would be the first time that we're seeing the DLC at Souls Charity Marathon. Basically, our goal, in order to be able to unlock progressing through the game, you have to kill 2 shard bearers for the base game, and you have to kill specifically Star Scourge Radon and Moog to get access to the DLC, and those 2 are shard bearers. So we can actually unlock both the base game and the DLC at the same time by just doing Star Scourge Radon and Moog as our 2 shard bearers. So it's a really nice way that the category kind of synergizes with itself. You don't have to do a bunch of extra stuff. You can just do that. But first we got to set up and get powerful, which is going to involve a lot of running around for a while. So strap yourselves in for 20 minutes of Peepo Torrent.
We love our world famous Honda Accord, dude. Peepo Torrent. Can I get a Peepo Torrent in the chat for this run coming up, dude? Yeah, so Mitch here is he's grabbing a bunch of stuff off the ground. He grabbed a kukri pickup, which is just like a throwing dagger, except it's kind of like weighted, so it has a larger impact when it hits walls and whatnot. So he'll be using that to distract enemies, because if it bounces off a wall, it'll like draw enemies towards him. Or towards whatever it landed on. And he's also grabbing some root resins, which are crafting materials that you use to make greases, which are essentially like pine resin equivalents in this game. So here he's sitting down at the Gatefront Grace. This automatically triggers a scripted event where Melina will visit you, and it'll make the cycle turn to nighttime, and she will give you the Spectral Steed whistle. And the goal from this point here is to get our capital access. You have to go through Altus Plateau to enter the capital, and the way you get to Altus Plateau is by collecting these fragments of a medallion. And we want both of them, and one of them is located in Caelid, which you're wondering, we're not heading in the right direction. This is not going towards Caelid. We're heading southeast. Well, for those of you that haven't seen this before, I'm sure most of you have, there is a trap chest located in this dragon burnt ruins, and we're going to be being transported to Caelid, which I'm sure a lot of you guys in your first playthrough, myself included, got surprised by this when you just got transported to an area you haven't even seen before, and you're just fighting these super scaled up enemies. So the goal of this little trap chest is to make traveling a bit shorter between areas, and we're using to our advantage because we're able to skip our map progression and get right to Caelid right away. So
yeah, it's really nice. Caelid is an area that we're going to need later for Star Scourge Radon, one of our required bosses to access the DLC. It gets us access to the medallion, as Blanks has pointed out, and it gives us access to some interesting upgrade materials, a Somber Smithing Stone 5 specifically that we're going to get. But first, I got to listen and dodge appropriately. Nice.
Oh my god, the no-look dodge is beautiful.
Yeah, those bugs always try to shoot you from behind, so you got to listen for the timing on them to get the roll. But yeah, we are coming up on our first skip here. So even though this category is glitchless, it is not skipless, as long as what we skip is not a boss or going out of bounds or anything like that. So we're coming up on the Celia skip. We're basically going to jump up a tree branch in order to skip having to open this doorway here that would normally let us up. So this is not the skip, that's just some rocks. But here comes the skip right here.
The idea is to get up onto this branch right here, and you don't want to lose your jump because you can actually like run off the platform too early and lose your jump. We're going to be mantling over some branches as well with some more jumps and some more precise movement. And we're going to be skipping this section with like a rolling boulder here by jumping up a cliff as well. That was actually a very, very smooth Celia skip. So
that was pretty nice.
GG's on that. Yeah, that was really good. And now that we've exited Limgrave, our next grace that we rest at will trigger Melina to come back to our location, and she will actually transport us to Round Table Hold, which is required for a couple of reasons this run. The first reason is because in all runs, in order to get into the capital, you need to go to the Round Table Hold at least one time. And also the other reason is we're going to be buying some items from the Round Table Hold. So we're going to be using the opportunity to go to Round Table Hold to also cleanse that little trap status that we had from entering Caelid through the trap chest. So it's a neat little usage there of going back to Round Table.
Yeah, we accomplish so many things in this one thing. We become untrapped. We go to Round Table Hold to buy multiple items and unlock Round Table Hold warping for later, where we're going to have to talk to Enya for getting into the DLC, as well as getting into the capital for base game. So it's just kind of an all-in-one trip there, which is awesome. Now I'm going to go back to the Celia Crystal Tunnel. and we're going to use this to go and get the Somber Smithing Stone 5. The reason I didn't do that immediately, you would think, oh, shouldn't you have done that before going and doing the Celia skip and all that, is because I wouldn't have been able to warp out because we still would have been trapped. So, yeah, we end up first getting untrapped with that warp and now going and getting the Somber 5.
Yeah. You could opt to do this later, which I actually was learning a speedrun route that does opt to this later, but it's actually like faster to get this now. That way we can save a trip to the blacksmith. You can opt to just like keep going towards your capital progression, but makes a lot of sense now to just take this detour now. That way when we go to level per weapon, we just go right up to the max upgrade that we have available to us. And unfortunately, they did change the way that menuing works. It's a bit slower now, so you actually can't warp out before that thing aggroes onto you, because your warping is actually like a couple of frames too slow, so we have to quit out there to de-aggro the enemy.
Yeah, I think if everything goes exactly frame perfect, I think a TAS would be able to warp in time, but because there's no buffer on any of the map actions, you would have to be literally frame perfect on every input, which just... doing like a 4 frame perfect input trick to save one quit out just isn't really worth it.
I don't know. I think a Hattie could do it, dude.
Probably.
I doubt it. But do you have a time for a couple of donations?
We do, yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're starting off this run on a great note. We have a $36 donation from Nillenauer that just says heart. And with that, we have reached over $9,000 raised for Save the Children.
Woo!
Very proud of you guys. Love this community, and
That's a huge
keep
milestone.
them coming.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your generosity. And we have a $112 donation from Carter that says, last dono of the event for me. Good luck, Mitch, and much love to all the runners, hosts, organizers, and tech crew. Let's hit that 10K for Dark Souls December. Hashtag Franker Inclusive Boni Bino. I agree.
I also heard that if we hit 10K, Hattie will play the Elden Ring DLC on stream even?
Yeah, I've heard that I will potentially purchase the Elden Ring DLC after this run.
Ooh.
Yeah. So what we've done is essentially gotten the first fragment of that the medallion. It's called the Dectus Lift medallion, and we're also grabbing a rune and an important talisman called the Radagon Sword Seal, which will increase our combat stats by 5, which is the health stat, endurance, strength, and dexterity. So some very important stuff in the fort right there. And actually, a fun little fact about Elden Ring speedrunning lore. For glitchless runs, we used to enter the capital through a different way. Like, we didn't actually go through the Dectus Lift. We used to take the abductors in the academy, which would take you to Volcano Manor. And from there, we would escape the Volcano Manor, grab the Serpent Hunter by killing Rykard, and we would enter the capital just through Altus Plateau down by the Abductor Duo boss. But since around 2023, I want to say early 2023, we've been... For all glitchless runs, we've been pretty much using Dectus Lift because it's just proven to be much faster. Even though Serpent Hunter is a fantastic weapon, it's just not as fast as other options like Bloodhound's Fang or Death's Poker, etc., etc. So,
yeah, I mean,
fun little
fact,
lore.
The new Death's Poker route goes back to going through Volcano Manor.
I was not aware of that. That's kind of cool.
It is a wild route. It is one that is, I'm sure, will be optimized in the coming weeks. But yeah, so a lot of interest into the Elden Ring speedruns, especially that any percent glitchless run that has a brand new route, brand new world record as of like 2 weeks ago or something, and I'm sure that will probably get beaten more in the future. So it's super cool. As we are coming through here, in addition to like the general stuff that we've already described that I'm picking up, we are coming up on a merchant that has 2 of the most important items for this run. One is going to be these Festering Bloody Fingers that are required in order to invade. And you might think, invasions? Like PvP? Like, what is that doing in the run? It's for a quest line from Vare that gets us access to Moog without having to go through all the way through like the snowfield and stuff like that. So that's very important, as well as sleep arrows, which we're going to need for Godskin Duo later. So I'm going to buy 3 of them. This is marathon safety. Technically, you only need 1 as long as everything goes well, but it's a marathon. I'm going to buy 3 for 3 chances at it. And even if you fail 3 times at the invasion, the quest just progresses anyway. It says you tried 3 times, good enough. So 3 is always a safe number.
Yeah, so Mitch is approaching the second fort, which the other medallion fragment is held. Where he's going to be grabbing the height medallion fragment, which is the left one, I believe. And then we'll have the full 2 halves of the Dectus medallion. Then we can go ahead and we can rush our access to Altus Plateau. And, I mean, as you could see, like I mentioned before with the Bloodhound's Fang route just being faster than the old Serpent Hunter route, it takes about 10 minutes to grab both fragments, and then you're just running the Altus Plateau. So, like, compare that to the old route, which had you, you know, getting the Physic Flask and then going to the Volcano Manor through the South Raya teleporter and whatnot. It adds up. And just like Mitch was saying, how like, the Death's Poker route's now faster. It's just, like, history repeating itself, because we're going to see this run getting shorter and shorter with the Death's Poker. So I think it's kind of cool that, like, the old is kind of coming back. Since, like, without, you know, using Bloodhound's Fang, you don't need to go to the fort to grab the Radagon Sword Seal or, like, the Blood Grease recipe and whatnot. So it's just kind of cool how these routes are shifting over time, and I'm kind of excited to see how far the 90% glitchless run gets pushed lower with the new routing.
Yeah, we might even see it take over the DLC percent as well, that Death's Poker, but the DLC bosses are so aggressive, it's very hard to find times to use it, so somebody would have to be very innovative on the run, but it might happen. Who knows? We are making our way here towards Liurnia, and there's another little skip that I'm going to do. It just skips, like, going across a bridge. Instead, you just kind of jump to the other side of the bridge. This is not, like, a sequence break or anything. You are intended to be able to just go around the castle. Not a lot of people know that, but we're just going to do this skip to make it a little faster, as long as I don't mess it up here. Jumped a little early, but I think we still make it. Nice. Got it.
Yeah, this little skip, it saves a bit of time, and also the other thing you have to look out for is these dang wildlife, dude. These squirrels are just blocking his way, They lose him tens of frames, dude. I cannot believe it. We're not even on pace anymore. These squirrels are crazy.
We have another little skip here coming up at these wolves. We're just going to jump down on some rocks instead of kind of going all the way around into Liurnia. I just have to be very careful with where I land. We're going to take a bit of fall damage, but not enough to die. And then it's not quite over yet. We've got another bit here. And on these graves here. Boom, jump down. Take a bit more fall damage. Heal up so that hopefully Torrent doesn't die. Okay. Whew. Made it through.
Alright, well, we have survived the Elden Ring fall damage classic, dude, where the game will not save.
Honestly.
Yeah, it won't save where your positioning was when you last, like, hit the ground, and it'll just, like, double your fall damage and just kill you.
Yeah. It is quite an interesting fall damage calculation. Sometimes works really well, sometimes works really poorly. So, glad that this time we did not take any extra fall damage.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Demon Souls, where, like, a little bit of extra height kills you, but the fall damage is really low.
Yeah, it'll do like 20% of your health or just kill you flat out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of messed up the way that it works in Elden Ring. Like, I think Kata has done like a lot of testing with that, and it literally is like a handful of centimeters. It goes from like 25% of your health to just like instantly dead.
All right. As we came through these ruins and to this teleporter, I grabbed a recipe for frost grease. This is going to be one of the things that I'm going to craft for the run. It may or may not be the absolute fastest way to get through the base game and the DLC, but it leads to some very, very nice scripts. So I think it's worth it, at least for now, for the routing. But if anybody wants to work on the route and actually time things out, we could see. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. Here, after grabbing the Grace so that we can warp back to it later, we're going to do this little skip here to get over to EG. Barely have Torrent live.
Yeah, Torrent's not very healthy right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I did the a pivot warp there, where basically whenever you pick up a Grace, you can do it while facing away from the Grace, and then you can immediately warp to the same grace that you're picking up, and that just refills your flasks real quick. Faster than sitting and resting at the grace, which would do the same thing, but I don't have to sit and rest.
So what you're saying is, if we raise some more money, we'll feed Torrent a seed. We'll heal him up.
A
real
Roa
good.
berry?
Mm-hmm.
I have been collecting a lot of Roa fruit along the way, so, you know, maybe if there's a donation with some sort of a message in it saying how I should feed Torrent because he's a good boy, maybe we'd have to do that.
I think we do have to do that, chat. I think that would be a good thing. Yeah, so we're just making our way towards Altus Plateau at the moment. Still a little bit of horsing. However, very soon we're going to get into the action. I promise you, the game is not horseback riding ring. There's actual gameplay soon. It's coming.
Are we sure? It seems like there's only horseback riding. I think this might be just a horse game.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I think Torrent controls well enough to where it's worth it.
All right, so coming over towards the Dectus lift, there is one more optional item that I'm going to grab. Not quite at this spot, but I'm going to grab some rune arcs for marathon safety. What a rune arc normally does is it activates the great rune that you have. But great runes take like forever. You have to like go up a tower, across a bridge. Like there's just so much you have to do to activate one. But even if you have no Great Rune active, it will just increase your maximum health by, I think it's about 5%, which is not a lot, but is just enough that it can help us survive some things. So I'm going to be grabbing a bunch of Rune Arcs. They do disappear whenever you die. Not like disappear from your inventory, but if you've used one, it becomes no longer active. So we'll have enough that even if I take a few deaths, we'll have a Rune Arc still ready for backup.
Yeah, which
So
is
the
like
first one I'm
smart
gonna get
for
is over here.
marathon. Because
sure.
there's actually a few bosses like in the base game because their health is so low. Notably Moog, actually, I've noticed that there's a couple of hits that you can survive that you normally couldn't, just because of like the Rune Arc extra HP. You survive with literally like a handful of HP, as the goat's literally blocking his way, losing him tens of frames again.
Tens of frames again.
The world record is now dead, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We're so on world record pace until then.
Yeah, so Mitch here is heading up to raise that medallion and get himself up to the Altus Plateau. And we're going to be making our way towards actually the game's patched-in version of the way to do Vare's questline, which is actually kind of cool that they gave us a way to do this offline. Normally, you'd have to go online. You'd have to use the 3 festooned fingers, and then you would just go back to Vare and whatnot. But if there's actually a NPC invader that you can go invade offline, which is actually why we bought these. And that'll fulfill the requirements of the questline if he wins. And if he doesn't win, he has a couple more attempts at it anyway. So we will be going to Moog at some point in this run, no matter what.
Yes. Yeah, so Magnus is the NPC that we're going to be invading, and he is, I think, probably by far the most random part of the run. So it might take 2 tries, it might take 3 tries. I might choose to load a save if it goes particularly horribly, but we'll see. Hopefully I won't need to because I have the 3 fingers, so it should be fine either way, but my scripts are going to get very messed up if we don't kill him because he drops runes, which is nice. But more importantly, he drops a Somber Smithing Stone 6. So if I don't get that, it's gonna be a little awkward. Because it is... most of my scripts are built for having upgrade to +6 right away. We can get a +6 later, but it would be quite a bit later, so I'm not exactly sure how I'd make that up.
Yeah, but Mitch would never die to Magnus, though. He's 100%
would never
consistent.
die 3 times in a row. That wouldn't happen at all, ever.
No, definitely not. I see that you're collecting a lot of Roa fruit. Do you want to give Torrent a snack? Is that what you're hinting at here?
Well, you know, we would need a donation telling us to do so. I have crafted a bunch of Roa snacks for Torrent, but...
Are you going to be grabbing these extra runes here?
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, but I forgot for a second. Thank you for calling it out, because I do not need those runes. That was a little bit of a waste of time jumping back there, but oopsies.
Yeah, there's just like some random guy holding a bag, and if you kill him, he drops a rune 10, which we use for a category called Defeat Consort. But this is actually using this category entails both the base game and DLC, so we actually get plenty of runes from killing bosses. So we're arriving at the invader here. This is Beast Claw Magnus wielding a Great Stars and a seal to cast Beast Seal incantations. The goal here is to lock him in a corner. We'll see if Mitch can get the cheese off here. We bought this axe from Round Table Hold for this exact reason. He's going to be dodging the bestial attacks, and I'll let him focus here for the loop here. We want to get him in a corner. And then he did Lion's Claw. That's very concerning. Okay, yeah, he's back in the loop. As long as he doesn't Lion's Claw again, he should be fine. Yes. Oh my God, the last hit got him. Nice. That's incredibly unlucky, but also incredibly lucky because you got the kill in the last hit of stamina. So that's what we mean by Magnus is the most pivotal like RNG point in the run because he can just one tap you. But yeah, the goal is to like lock him in a corner because if you do it like that, he can't escape unless he two hands because when he two hands, he gets more poise. And as you saw there, he literally just like Ash of Ward in his face and almost killed him. But yeah, luckily we were able to roll it and then get the Wild Strikes loop back going. So yeah, now we're heading up towards the capital outskirts, the like inner part of that, and then we'll be heading towards the Draconic Tree Sentinel, which is the boss that you would have to come up here and kill in any percent glitchless. However, we're taking a slightly different routing. As you can notice, we're actually heading towards the northern part of Altus Plateau, towards the Windmill Village, and gonna remind Mitch that there's these catapulters with rocks that do a lot of damage. So he's gonna have to be very careful with his pattern here of movement. We'll see how this goes.
I have no extra flasks, so I have to be very careful with these rock flinging catapults. They're very kind of hard to see, kind of dull muted colors in the background, so I have to really watch out. Oh, I see one. Whew. Scary.
Yeah, it's extra scary too because Mitch is so low on HP. Like, we're at the very start of the run. Oh my God, it's actually just raining rocks right now.
It is. As long as I stay along this path now, we should be all right. He always misses. The one on the left, we're now riding perpendicular to, so I think we're okay from here.
Yeah. So we're entering the capital outskirts from this northern part of Altus Plateau. Our goal is to get that capital rampart grace, and we're also going to be taking out the Draconic Tree Sentinel, which is the gatekeeper of the capital. However, we have not killed our shard bearers yet, so we aren't going to be able to go into the capital yet. We just need to take out this boss. And if you notice, we don't have any leveled up weapons or any gear or any levels to our character, so we're going to be doing a interesting cheese to get ourselves a nice hefty bounty of runes at the very start of the run, and that'll help us out a lot for the next upcoming bosses.
Yeah, basically replaces all other runes that you might have to pick up. Similar categories that don't do the Draconic Tree Sentinel cheese have to pick up like 10 different rune pickups in order to make up for it. But yeah, for this category, it's nice and simple. One cheese, and we've got all the runes we could need.
What kind of cheese? Like what flavor are we rocking with here?
I think it's a pretty stinky cheese, whatever it is.
So you thinking like a Parmesan or something like that?
Oh, I mean, I'm thinking stankier.
Like
I'm
really
thinking
stinky.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So
let's see if I can get it.
works-
I've got to concentrate for this, so I'll let Blanks describe it.
So the way that this works is we need to like aggro him like that, and then we have to stand in a certain spot on the ground, and then we're waiting for him to chase us. And once he chases us, we can run away from him. Waiting for him to jump attack us.
Ah, didn't quite get it.
Almost got the backup there. I think the positioning was slightly off, but that's okay because you
Yeah.
actually have a stake of Marika right here, so it's totally fine. We're just going to respawn and try again. But the idea there is to get that parry, and once we parry him, we can then knock him off because the stagger animation makes him kind of flinch when you hit him again. So Mitch will just try again here. It's not a big deal. Luckily, the only way that you can like technically fail this is by just falling, because that way you don't get the stake of Marika. So we're totally fine here. We're just gonna try again. You can also shoot fireballs, which is interesting. Depends on how early you run. Looks like we got it, and
That
is
should
he
do it.
gonna fall off? And there he
Goodbye.
is. Goodbye. Yeah, that was pretty stinky. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty stinky.
Nicely
cheese.
done.
All right,
Yeah,
and
so-
I'm just gonna delete the weapons that he gives so that it doesn't mess with my menuing later.
You're not gonna use those weapons? What the hell?
I know, such powerful weapons, and I'm just letting them go.
You don't sound very happy to use those weapons.
You know, they're all right.
It's okay. You don't have to sugarcoat it.
All right, here I'm gonna do a couple of level ups right now with the runes that we got, which is gonna make us a little more powerful. But I'm not gonna spend all the runes on levels because I need to save a lot of them for upgrading the weapon we're about to get, which is the Bloodhound's Fang. So we've got a specific kill on this guy. Hopefully he's nice to us, and we even picked up some lightning grease to make it even faster. Just do a little bit of extra damage.
This fight's pretty cool if it goes well. This is the Bloodhound Knight, and there's a cool little script with the axe with the wild strikes. I'm gonna hope that Mitch gets it. The idea here is to get a charge attack off on the opener while he's still kind of spawning in. Then he has a little bit of a tap R2, and then he's going for an R1 into the wild strikes. It staggers him as he lands, and then he has a little wild strikes follow up just for the extra style points. And now we've gotten the Bloodhound's Fang, which is pretty cool because that is the main weapon for the run. So that was a very nicely done script. He behaved. That was very nice. And now the goal is to upgrade our weapon. However, do we have any donations, Hattie?
We do. Torrent is gonna love this donation. We have a
Ooh,
$19 donation from Anonymous that says "Feed Torrent." So Torrent gets his snack after all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anonymous.
All right, I gotta find that in my inventory here. Here it is. Row a raisin.
Give him a snack.
Feed Torrent. Give him a little
What a
snack
good
there.
boy.
What a good boy.
Good boy.
Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, so now we're heading over to the road to the manor. We now have our Bloodhound's Fang. We have about 25,000 runes, which is about how much you need to upgrade it. We're going to EG instead of Hugh in the round table because he actually sells Sombers 1 through 4. And we actually got the 5 and the 6 one from Kaled and one from Magnus. So we actually were able to get a Bloodhound's Fang +6. Very, very strong at this point in the game. You normally are like +4, I believe, for other routes. So now we're heading towards Radon. Very hype because we're doing a skip here. We're doing the Radon stake skip, the most controversial skip in all of speedrunning, dude.
Very controversial. Is it a glitch? Is it not? Who knows?
Listen, all I'm saying
It's
is
pretty
you guys,
Miyazaki intended to me. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they
If you
put a
got-
Stake of America there, so.
if we get a donation, you can pitch your idea to us, okay? Is it a glitch? Is it not a glitch? Let's hear your answers. Please. Keep those donations coming.
Okay, this
Yeah.
Radon script is very scary because I'm just going to charge at him and try to avoid his arrows and hope that he doesn't do the arrow rain, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So the idea here is to strafe these arrows on horseback. You can actually strafe them because of I don't know if it was like a nerf in one of the earlier patches, but you're able to strafe the arrows, which you can't do in 1.02. And the idea here is to get Radon to do his little advancing slash like this, which would be a very long combo that he's locked into, so we're going to get a couple of R1s off. It's a bit of an
That's
awkward
really
spot for him to be
unfortunate.
in. Yeah, so we're
this
going to be
is
doing...
not what we're hoping for.
We're able to somehow avoid that, though. It's a bit better. Okay.
Well, we're
some
not going to
weapon
get a
arts.
nice one cycle, but it's okay.
The good thing about being +6 is that we're so overpowered that it really doesn't matter that we just lose a little bit of time not getting the one cycle. Radon's going to now fly in as a meteor, which I'm sure terrified a lot of you guys in your first playthrough. Boom. Yeah. So now our goal is to just bleed him one more time or just kill him with straight up just damage. Mitch is going to be targeting the horsey because he stays above ground. Very, very nice kill from Mitch. Mitch has now confirmed that Torrent is the better horse. Torrent's better than Leonard. Confirmed.
Confirmed, confirmed.
And yeah, we're now done with our first shard bearer, Mr. Radon.
Now, everyone may want to avert their eyes for a little bit. We are certainly not going to be murdering any pot friends whatsoever. Just look away for a bit. Close your ears, maybe. And nothing's gonna happen.
No!
He does give a very powerful talisman that we definitely need, so...
It's okay, because I have this pot friend statue right here on my desk. That's actually not the real pot friend. I have the real pot friend on my desk right now. So he's safe. No pot friends were harmed in the making of this speedrun. It's okay. We're all good.
2038, there we go. I had to remember my stats there for a second, got a little confused.
Yeah. So now that we've killed a Great Rune boss, this door in Round Table Hold opens, and we're able to talk to Enya, who is the lore dumper, I guess you could call her. She just tells you what's going on. And this is advancing the game's story forward. So now we'll go back to South Briar Lucaria main gate, and we'll be able to have a conversation with Vare, because he actually moves. I don't know if it's all quest lines, but his quest line moves after you talk to Enya in the Round Table Hold. Taking a quick stop there just to get that dialogue out of the way. We're also coming back later, so it's not a like a complete waste of our time, because we're just going to be coming back later anyway. But yeah, we're heading towards Vare. We've killed the Beast Claw Magnus, and now we need the Blood of a Maiden to complete our introduction to the Mogwin dynasty. He gives you 5 of those fingers. I mean, that's the intended way the quest is supposed to go, is that once you kill a Great Rune boss, which the game intends for you to be Godric, you come here, you talk to Enya, you come back here, and then he's right here, and then he gives you the fingers, and then he says, go invade people, and go take their humanity and whatever. So we've already done that, so all we have to do is quit out, and that'll advance the quest line, because the game has registered that we've done the invasion already. And then we'll talk to him again. By the way, the church just, like, crumbles in front of us here. Yeah, it just crumbles in front of our eyes, because our quit out is just that powerful. And now we're getting this piece of paper, the Lord of Blood's favor. Mitch is also picking up Blood Flame Blade, I believe, from this scarab.
I am gonna get Blood Flame Blade from this scarab. It's basically infinite bleed grease, so that I don't need to worry about ever running out of it. We have a lot of bosses to get through, so it's just nice to have infinite bleed, just in case.
Yeah.
In other routes, you would just craft the bleed, but because we're at Vare anyway, the Blood Flame Blade is just not that far out of the way, and gives us infinite tries. And there's Blood of a Maiden.
Yeah. It's very convenient that there's like 2 maidens, right? In this, like, for this quest line, you can do her, and then you can do the one by the Frenzy Flame Village.
There's the Frenzy Flame Village. There's also the Chapel of Anticipation, and I want to say, like, the Albinoric woman or something is the 4th. I think there's 4. I might be wrong on the 4th one, but I know Chapel of Anticipation also works.
So now that we've gotten the Blood of a Maiden, we are going to then go back to Vare, and then he's going to do something very vile to our finger. And that's our introduction to the Mogwin dynasty. We've done it, dude. We're now apostles of Mog. Surely nothing bad's going to happen to Mog. Yeah. Surely nothing bad's going to happen to him now that we've essentially tricked Vare into giving us his most prized possession. Yeah, so...
we just have to let him do something to our finger first.
Yeah, I don't know if he's, like...
injecting it with blood? Corrupted blood or something? I don't know.
I thought he was ripping it off, because it's, like, the sound effect, but I don't think he is. I think it's just... He just, like, infects it. And then he gives us his most prized possession, the Pure Blood Knight's Medal, where she specifically tells you to not use until the time is right. But what do we do right away? We use it at the exact wrong time. He does not want us to use it. So we're just breaking all the rules, dude. That's just the classic speedrunner way.
Just breaking all the rules, listen. Man.
They just never do.
Why can't they just play the game the way it's supposed to be played? Just don't get it, man.
Just don't get it.
We are we're now in the Mogwin Dynasty Palace, and you're not supposed to be here, like Vare was about to tell us, which before we scurried off. This is basically the alternate way of getting here. The other way you get here is by finishing the capital, and then there's a Forbidden Lands area where you can hold up the Rolled Medallion, and then you go through the Consecrated Snowfield using the Secret Medallion, the Halo Tree Medallion. And it's a whole complicated process, and so we're just gonna be avoiding all that by doing the Avari questline, and it actually works out really well for this run, because like we mentioned, we also had to kill Draconic Tree Sentinel, so it's actually like in the same exact direction. So we're just going to be doing it this way instead. It just makes the most sense because we're going to be killing our second Shard Bearer here, which will give us access to the capital, which is like, in my opinion, very cool. I actually like just learned about it last night, like when I was watching Mitch practice for this run. I was just like, I had a realization, a light bulb moment where I'm like, wow, we actually get capital access doing Moog and Radon, which are the requirements of the DLC anyway. So
Yeah.
just found that
cool
very
little
cool.
distraction here. We're actually throwing a kukri at one of these guys. It's just the most convenient like target to aim at, so that I don't have to manually aim. And it distracts everyone else over to the spot he got hit. Oh, except
Not this guy.
Not this guy. That has never happened before. I said the
Surely.
thing.
Surely he doesn't know that it's a marathon.
He doesn't know. But with a little quit out, we can de-aggro everybody, just be a little safe walking around here, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, so we are now well on our way to Luminary Moog. We're going to be using this Lord's Rune on the elevator. We're also, question mark, going to be using a Rune Arc. I don't know if you use it for this fight.
I don't end up using it. You definitely could. It would be a little safer, but I find Moog is so unsafe that I'd rather just use the Rune Arc after and not
This
risk
is like
losing my Rune Arc.
one of the hardest boss fights, I want to say. And like in Elden Ring speedrunning, it's one of the hardest fights for sure, because it's a very like precise script. It's a bit easier with this setup, which I saw Mitch practicing last night. I really hope that he gets the clean one cycle. But the idea here is to get the stagger to go off with R1s and a handful of charge R2s. It's exactly 3-2. I like to count them out as in 3 R1s, 2 charge R2s. He does it with the stagger, gets some headshots, gets the riposte. The goal here is to stall out his second phase. He's going to do Trace, which is going to build up one of the little blood rings on us, and also Duo, which is going to build up the second blood rings. And we're going to be stalling for a little bit, trying to get that last bit of poison. So boom, that's our last bit of poise. Boom, there's a stagger. Boom, there's a follow-up. That's a headshot as well. That's really, really big. Might be a one cycle
here.
We'll see how the wall interaction works here. With this, it looks like a one cycle to me.
Oh,
Boom.
easy one
There
cycle.
it is. That's really
Very
cool
nice.
that we showed off the one cycle at SCM. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is tough to do.
Yeah, he made it look easy, but that's like, I've been trying to learn this strat for like about a week now, and it's not clicking yet. So really impressive that Mitch can just show it off in a marathon. Very, very cool stuff. And now we're just going right to the DLC, because now that we've killed Radon and Moog, we can just head into the DLC through the Miquella's arm. And we're going to be grabbing a couple of items here that are going to help us later. First of which is going to be the Blade of Mercy Talisman, and a handful of Skadutri fragments as well, which is the alternate bolstering material of the Shadowlands. We're not going to be doing a whole lot in the DLC just yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're just getting a couple of key graces, then we're going to be warping out for a little bit.
Yeah, we are going to be warping out after this. You could go straight through the DLC right now if you wanted to. That you could basically just complete DLC percent. But basically, I try to route it where we optimize when we get our weapon upgrades and when we get all of our levels. And it turns out that weapon upgrades are really slow to get in the DLC, but very fast in the base game. So we're going to go back to the base game for those weapon upgrades. After we get our weapon fully upgraded, we're going to come back to the DLC because it gives a ton of runes. Then we're going to kind of, ping pong back and forth as we finish things off.
Yeah. I think this run's actually like really cool. I think it's a cool idea, like doing both the base game and the DLC, because I mean, you have to do like the long setup period anyway, like for any Elden Ring run. So it's just really nice that we're able to get so much content in one setup period, I guess. We're doing a little bit of a gravestone skip here, which actually, like, I don't think I've seen much of this in the base game, but there's actually a lot of spots you can do it in the DLC. And so we're going to be climbing up an area that we would normally have to cross, like, a pretty long bridge running section and, like, another, like, river running section. But we're actually going to be just, like, skipping over all of that by skipping up these gravestones. So we're also going to do, like, a second skip in just a second here. But we're going to be heading towards the Pillar Path Waypoint. If you guys don't know where this is actually where you would head towards Ancient Dragon Man. We're going to be running past Egon here in a second, and you could tell by the screams of agony You're coming in a minute. He just is having a really bad time. Ah! So yeah, that's Egon. He's a guy in the DLC. He's linked to a quest line that he's not super important to us for this run, but he's a key NPC. Here's Tiolge right here, one of the other key NPCs, but we're not going to be talking to him at all either. Gonna instead be doing a skip here. This is Healy A skip, where you just do a couple of time jumps down these rocks. Almost looks intended, honestly. Like, these rocks being this, like, protruding out of the wall almost looks intended. Like, it's kind of sketchy.
Except for that first one. That first one, you definitely land on just, like, nothing. But
yeah, you land on
after that, it feels like you could land.
A handful of pixels, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're just heading towards the Shadow Altus here. We're going to be grabbing a key grace, and then we're going to be heading out towards some more base game stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see the DLC portion of this run personally. I like the base game stuff too, but I'm just a big fan of the DLC. I've been gaming on the DLC for definitely like about since the DLC came out. It's just been like back-to-back bounties and just fun stuff with the DLC. I don't know about you guys, but I am a huge fan of the Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, I really like it, and I can't wait to force a Hattie to play it.
You heard it here first.
Either.
Get those donations in. If we reach a amount of money.
I think those
Hattie will
Igon
play the
impressions
DLC.
deserve a donation, to be honest.
Speaking of, if we have any donations, now's a good time to feed Torrent.
You heard him here, folks. Get in those donations, and we'll get some more raisins for the good boy Torrent.
We're
So
coming
here we're
up
gonna
on
be-
a little a thing where we have to distract there's a curse blade, a unique enemy to the DLC that tries to sort of protect this pot noble, but you can distract him away with a kukri. Or you can fail to distract him away from a kukri and quit out so that
That's
we can try it
terrifying.
again. Yeah, that is very terrifying.
So that's a curse blade, and curse blades are like very, very, very dangerous, and you don't want to be fighting them, especially on this low HP. So we use a kukri to distract. The point here is to hit it, bonk it against the wall, and that'll distract the curse blade. While we can go ahead and we can take out this pot guy, grab his Skadutri fragment, and we'll be on our way to the High Road Cross, which is the last grace I believe we'll be getting for a little bit in the DLC.
Yes, hopefully I don't die on the way there, because I have not grabbed any grace so far in the DLC. We would have to redo a lot if I died here, so...
Yeah, this camp
Surely
right
that
here
won't
coming
happen.
up is kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. But this line seems a bit safe-ish. I don't know if you could die doing that, but that would be pretty catastrophic. So
You
luckily
can't
we didn't
die
right there.
unless you're slow. So as long as I did it right, which luckily I did, we're totally fine.
Yeah, that's definitely a relief. So I believe now we're going into the capital, if I'm not mistaken.
We
Now
are
that-
about to one little detour first. We're gonna go get Golden Vow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we need to get the Golden Halberd, because Golden Halberd actually is what makes a lot of the base game scripts possible. The Golden Vow Ash of War is very, very powerful because it's a 10% damage buff, 15% defense increase, but it's just more damage equals better scripts a lot of the time. Although we actually don't want too much damage. That's why Mitch is trying to think out his stats and route it in a way that doesn't over damage a lot of the bosses in the base game, because we are like kind of like criminally powerful for this point. Because you're not supposed to kill Moog this early on. We just got like 500,000 runes from killing Moog, so trying to be very careful with how we level up. Gonna be fighting the Tree Sentinel. The Limgrave Tree Sentinel, the one that I'm sure you guys all tried to fight on your first playthrough. Watch Mitch kill him in 10
I'm sure
seconds.
it went as smooth as this
Yeah.
for all of you guys.
Watch Mitch literally kill him in 10 seconds. So he's going to be waiting for the sound effect. Boom. Okay, now he can warp, because that Golden Vow is popped in his inventory now. And he has 25 strength, I believe, now, so he can actually one-hand the Golden Halberd. That's kind of the reason why we did 25 strength. From this point, we're going to be doing a couple of skips in the capital. And then we're going to be heading towards Morgott, which is the boss at the end of the capital. So we're kind of splitting our progress here within the DLC and within the base game. We're doing a bit of inventory management here just to get rid of some of the garbage items so we can have smoother menuing towards our main weapons, which would be the golden halberd, the parry shield, the seal to cast bloodflame blade, and the bloodhound's fang. So gonna be doing a skip here. It's called, I guess you could call it East Capital Rampart skip or Landell skip, whatever you want to call it. So it's basically just a skip where we're going to be skipping a little bit of running section by dropping down a couple of platforms. And actually, Mitch is a really cool setup that he found. He discovered this.
I sort of semi-stole it from somebody, but then adapted it and made it a little nicer. But yeah, you just kind of stand on this spot. You aim at that point of the thing right there, do a back step, and boom, you get to land nice and easy.
So, like, optimally, you'd be just doing like a jump punch, and it's a bit faster. But this setup right here is just like so convenient because it's like very, very consistent and easy. And I believe now that we've like discovered a whole lot about how frame rate like affects the game, I want to say the jump punch, like the reason why it feels so inconsistent is because of like the frame rate being constantly fluctuating.
Really? Was that the reason? I didn't know that.
I don't have any signs to prove this, but I mean, it would make sense. Like, based on the times that we've spent practicing it for like half an hour straight for it to not work in a run is just like bonkers. But yeah, we've recently like discovered actually like a lot about the way that frame rate affects like skips and stuff like that. Basically, if you guys have ever been like wondering like why you'd be like jumping and like you try to like jump into a platform and whatnot and like the distance is not consistent, it's because frame rate affects the amount of floating that your character does when going up objects and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some like finicky stuff with Rampart skip. I'll have to like try that out with the new frame rate fix that we've been like in the works of with the speedrunning community. So yeah, we're grabbing an extra rune arc here just to, in case we end up dying again, or in case we end up like having mistakes after the first rune arc, we're just gonna have a little bit of backup HP. It's about like 5%. We're also gonna be hopefully not getting sniped by electricity by this guy. Nice, good dodge.
Got the roll.
Yeah. And so here we're gonna be basically just switching constantly from the golden halberd. We're kind of like poop walking right now. That's because we're on heavy load. And the goal here is to just get our golden vow off and then just switch it off right away. Back to the Bloodhound's Fang, because we don't really need it in our inventory, per se, just for the Golden Vow animation. But yeah, we have Golden Godfrey coming up, guys. Very cool guy. He's yellow, and he's weak to magic, so I'm just going to use magic grease on him.
It doesn't do a whole lot, but I might as well. I kind of picked up the magic grease anyway for Elden Beast, so might as well use it on him as well.
Yeah. So Golden Godfrey is not nearly as hard as Moog is. I mean, clearly. And you guys are going to see like the damage difference and the health bar difference between him and Moog. Like Moog having like upwards of 20,000-ish HP. Golden Godfrey is going to basically just melt to our current damage because we're just kind of unholy powerful right now. I'm using that Golden Vow. We're going to be trying to bait out a throwing attack here, which he does do.
Perfect.
Very nice. You want to get 2 of these Ashes of War in. And then you want to...
Didn't quite get around him. Gotta play it safe now.
Yeah. We're just trying to get a couple of R1s in here. That way we can build up a stagger. Okay. That's nice strafing, a nice play around his axe. It's a good attack to get. An Ash of War. Not going to follow it up. You could follow it up for a stagger, but it's
I'm just a
bit too
little
risky to go
scared.
for. Yeah. No, that's totally fair. I mean, you have enough damage. You don't really have to worry about that. So
yeah.
That's Golden Godfrey. Pretty cool stuff. And before Morgott, if we do have any donations, now would be the time. You have a handful of seconds in between now and the next boss. So if we have a donation, take it away.
We do have a donation from Sir John Snow, a $5 donation that says, "Please feed Torrent. He's a good boy and deserves a snack." He gets another snack.
We'll get him in the next forcing section.
Yeah, whenever Torrent is available.
Yes, that will be on our way to the mountaintop of the giants. Should be the next time we can get that.
Cool.
I will not forget.
It's just that easy, chat. All you have to do is donate a amount of money, and we will feed Torrent a snack. So please keep those donations coming. So coming up here, we have Morgott, which is actually Mitch's least favorite boss in the entire game, both casually
I do hate this boss.
and for speedruns. He's gone on extensive.
Okay, it's not my least favorite casually in speedruns. Actually, it's not even my least favorite in speedruns anymore. He's been supplanted by a DLC boss that we will see later in this run.
Yeah, so Morgott here is like as well kind of scripted. We'll see if we can get the script cleanly off. So the idea here is to again build up stagger. We're doing a precise amount of hits to do enough damage to get him to do a certain attack.
That's not what
which
we're looking
he's
for.
stalling a bit, so we're gonna throw a dagger to reset the poise, which is fine because he should have not regened enough poise. Gonna do a weapon art combo here. Gonna do a charge R2. Oh, the delay
that's
proc.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He actually got the stagger there, but the Blood Flame Blade causes like a ticking bleed effect to go off, so it just kind of was unlucky, the timing. He does the I win attack.
You want to see?
Oh my god. Morgott simply is doing the I win attack, but it's okay. Oh my god, Mitch iframes the fart cloud.
Take him down. Easy kill. Okay, that was actually really scary, but hey, it worked.
That was quite entertaining from my perspective. That was cool. Yeah, so that's Morgott. It's supposed to be scripted, but of course in a marathon run, not everything is gonna go according to plan. He is some runners' least favorite boss. I personally I think he's pretty cool. And like Mitch said, since the DLC came out, I think we kind of have been a bit desensitized to like how bosses are a little bit tame in the base game compared to DLC bosses.
Yeah.
So we're just talking to Melina here. She's telling us that the thorns are unburnable, or they're unpenetrable. You need to burn them. So our goal is to now head up to the mountaintops of the giants. We need to seek the forge of the giants. We need to burn the ceiling tree, or not the ceiling tree. Sorry, this is not the ceiling tree. The
ceiling
the
tree is
Erd tree.
DLC.
Oh my god. I'm so DLC pilled. It's crazy. Yeah. So we're back in the capital. We're doing that skip once again. As you can see, I mean, doing this this skip twice, doing the setup makes it so much like more convenient, because doing the jump punch twice was just so annoying. Like, I don't know if you shared this experience, Mitch, but like I just got so like fed up with that skip. Like having to do it twice in a run is just like, it's just a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. That's why there was a whole sort of tournament for any percent glitchless, which does this skip. This is the base game sort of glitchless run, and yeah, I basically came up with that strat specifically for the tournament because it was just live runs, and I noticed so many people just kind of losing their races to that skip. So I was like, well, I'm not dealing with that. So yeah, it's a lot more convenient. It's not bad at all. Another thing to mention that I've been doing all throughout here, but we haven't talked about yet, is bow cancels. Anytime that you are falling and you would do like a thud on the ground, you can actually cancel that if you have a bow in your main hand and you swap to two-handing it in the middle of the air at just the right time. It's basically you need to finish your character swapping to the bow right as you land, so that instead of doing the landing splat, your character just kind of like finishes equipping the bow and skips the splat. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you can't roll out of hard falls in this game like you can in Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, etc.
Yep.
You can't do it in Sekiro either, but yeah, in Elden Ring you can't like roll out of those animations and whatnot. So we just use the bow to try to cancel them. I mean, sometimes you'll still get the falling animation anyway. You'll actually like lose more time if you go for it and you miss it, because you'll do like a different falling animation. Not really sure like why it's like that. But yeah, I mean, we try to make the most out of those small little time frames that we have in between running sections, to where like you're on foot and whatnot, because most of the run is on torrent. But speaking of torrent, why is this guy allowed to have a horse that we can't in this area?
And we can't. I know. They should have patched this in. I wish we could torrent up.
Yeah, it's a bit unfair. And also speaking of torrent, you need to feed him a berry, because we got a donation for that. So you owe torrent
once
a
we get to the bottom of here, we will feed torrent a snack. While we're on this elevator, I'm going to be popping some extra just runes and remembrances that I've been saving up, as well as here's where I'm going to use my first rune arc. I like to only use them on elevators because you don't really lose any time. In this case, I'm losing a tiny bit of time because I could have jumped off the elevator early, but close enough. And finally, here's Torrent.
He gets a snack.
And here is his snack.
Who's a good boy?
What a good boy.
Who's a good boy?
We love Torrent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're heading through the Forbidden Lands now, and as Mitch mentioned, you actually can get Somber 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s in the DLC. However, a lot of them are very, very slow to grab. So we'll be grabbing one in the Forbidden Lands, as well as close to the end of the mountaintops here. There's going to be one in a giant skull. That'll be our Somber 7. It takes like, I don't know, 3 seconds to grab. So very, very small detours.
It's an awkward grab. It's probably going to take me like 5 to 10 seconds because I'm going to be circling to grab it, but we'll see.
Yeah. It's kind of awkward because in this game, like, I mean, the optimal way that I learned to do this is by jumping off Torrent. There you go.
Like that. I got it.
I was going to say, I actually reverse commentator cursed you because I was going to say how hard it is to do while you're on Torrent, because when you try to like jump off the horse when you're on like unstable ground, it won't really let you. Like it happens with like rocks where you try to like jump off Torrent on a rock and it doesn't really work. Anyway, we are heading up towards the rolled lift. We got the rolled medallion from Melina. We're not fighting the Blackblade Kindred, although I'd love to see Mitch fight him. But yeah, we're.
I mean, I know how to fight. I've fought him before, but you know, it's a little slow, so I would not want to do that right now.
Yeah, so he's gonna hoist that medallion, and he's going to be entering the mountaintops of the giants. And we're gonna do a little bit of horsing for a bit. We're gonna be just enjoying the Elden Ring ambience, dude, of the mountaintops of the giants. Don't you guys love a nice good old Peepo torrent section, dude? Can I get a Peepo torrent for this running section, dude? I'm enjoying this a lot.
It is like 5, maybe even 10 minutes of just riding here.
It's 10 minutes from Morgott, I think. It's like the total running time. So we're a bit through that time. You heard that, chat? It's already almost over, dude. We're already not gonna be on Torrent. I cannot believe it. I thought this game was a horse racing game.
I mean, there's more horsing in the DLC. There's the Rao
That's
ruins.
True. You guys can stay tuned for more horsing in the DLC. That would make me very happy. Yeah, so we're riding across this giant ruined bridge. I've never seen that guy shoot a fireball before until today.
Rare, yeah. That's fine. It doesn't matter, but that was weird.
Fun little.
Yeah, and we are coming up on our last somber stone for a little while. Our last one in the mountaintops of the giants is past this archer. There's a scarab. There's actually multiple ways that you can get the somber 8. This is the easier way. Blanks generally does. There's a slightly faster way where you like snipe a scarab out of like a skull that's like super high up in the air. But if you miss, it's just a disaster. So
and there's like a giant hand as well. So that's like chasing you while you're trying to do it. It's very, very scary. Fun fact about this golem, by the way. If you're running categories that did the flying torrent glitch that you guys saw in the relay race, he can actually snipe you out of the air and you just fall to your death and you go very, very far back. So it's happened to me once before, so I've been like terrified of that guy ever since. Yeah, so we have our somber 8 now. We're gonna be running up towards the foot of the forge. And I mean, there's not really a whole lot going on here, dude. It's just a slow day in the mountaintops. There's a spectral deer on our left. There's another spectral deer on our right. There's a golem in the river, dude. It's a bit of a slow day here.
Yeah.
There's
some
day
that we could probably get some donations as we're riding through, if there are any.
Cool. I'll take this opportunity to let you guys know that we have raised over $9,000.
Ooh, let's go.
That is equivalent to providing education supplies for over 1,800 children that they need to continue their education. So yeah, thank you for your generosity and keep those donations coming. If we reach $10,000, we will be able to force Morale to participate in Dark Souls December. So if you want to see
Ooh.
that,
Ooh.
keep those donations coming.
Can I get an 8 no way in all caps, dude? For Moral? For Dark Souls December?
We do have a little skip here at Borealis where you have to kind of ride up the rocks just right so you don't fall. And then, boom, jump up there. It's not that hard of a skip, but it's a little scary because if you mess it up, you've got a dragon that's trying to eat you immediately. So, bit of a scary one, but got it there.
Yeah. You also can't see anything, like, for a couple of seconds afterwards. Very, very scary ambient-wise, especially in, like, a no-quit-out setting. I like to just quit out there to reset it, but like Mitch mentioned, there actually was, like, a speedrun competition for 90% glitchless. And my alternate strat was to just, like, run through the frozen river if I missed the skip, and I actually got sniped by, like, a lobster. So, don't do that. Just do the skip. Just quit out and do the skip again if you if you fail it.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even save that much time. You could go, there's an invisible bridge you could go across instead that's super safe. That's only like 10 seconds slower, maybe. But, you know, if we can get the skips, we get the skips.
Yeah. That one was found by none other than Distortion 2 during the 90% glitchless craze that everyone was going through. Dist, notorious for his skips and whatnot. That one's a very, very tame skip, though, I would say. At first, it was a bit tricky, like learning it and whatnot, but it's very, very tame.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a disc skip goes, it's very tame, I would say.
Oh, yeah. We have seen some much less tame dist skips, especially in this category. There's one that I did not go for. It was back in the capital that we call Dist Ruined My Life skip because it's awful. It's so hard.
Yeah, similar to Cookie Ruined My Life skip from Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Ahadi? Has your life been ruined multiple times by Cookie?
I think it's balanced out. Cookie has made my life equally better as he has made it worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Mitch, you're going to +8 for Fire Giant, I believe.
8
Yes.
for Fire Giant, yep. Same as we do for any percent glitchless, so I don't have to modify the strategy at all. We'll do slightly more damage than you would do in any percent glitchless, but luckily that does not affect the script. We just have to do it the same, and we'll slightly overkill him at the end.
Yeah. You are down
least,
one
hopefully.
Kukri. Yeah, because of the curse blade incident, so I think you'll be fine still with Fire Giant, but
Yeah, as long as we do it first try, we will be completely fine.
remembering to take off the halberd for medium load, that's good. So the goal here is to break this leg with the wrappings around it, and we're going to be just abusing that leg over and over again, doing weapon art combos onto it, doing a charge R2 to finish off the stagger, getting our stamina back, doing some more charge. Oh, that was a delay bleed right there. Nice. Okay. Charge R2 to send the stagger into phase 2. Phase 2 Fire Giant spawns in.
I forgot to allocate my mana flasks, which should be actually fine.
It looks like it should be fine. You just need 2 more hits, I think, because this will bleed him right here, I think.
Whew.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. So right there, the Blood Flame Blade applied a little bit of a delayed bleed. Very nicely done from Mitch. Fire Giant is now down. We're discussing what we weren't looking forward to at the start of this run, and this was actually one of those fights because if the script doesn't work, or if it's just like if you die once, whatever, this fight just becomes very, very. It becomes a clown fiesta essentially. It's not fun after the first attempt, or so. Thankfully, Mitch got that done. Very, very nice.
Yeah, a good thing. Normally in the any percent glitchless, you would do it with bleed grease, so you'd have a limited number of tries until you completely run out. Because I'm using Blood Flame Blade, we'll never run out of that, although we might run out of other resources, such as Kukri. The Kukri isn't actually, like, super necessary for the Fire Giant kill. It just makes it so that we don't have to do an extra hit at the end. So it would have been okay, but it would have been awkward on a second try.
Question for Mitch. Is
Yes.
Blood Flame Blade better than Bleed Grease, or is it about the same?
It is about the same. It is almost entirely identical. I think it technically does like 5 more bleed buildup per hit or something like that. But it's so close that all the scripts work out the same. Enemies bleed on the same hit. You can see there, Fire Giant bleeded on the exact same hit as we would normally see. It's just that Blood Flame Blade also does it slightly over time. And so sometimes you'll have it happen after the hit rather than when you hit. So arguably it could be worse in that case of like the bleed happens slightly later, but the total amount you get is almost identical.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a meme on Morgott because you were able to stagger him, but he actually like bled before you can get the riposte, which is what made him phase 2. So there's a little bit of a downside there for using Blood Flame Blade. So for those of you at home that are wondering why your bleed is proccing a bit later than usual, it's because Blood Flame inherently has that slow buildup over time. So yeah, we're in Crumbling Fair Missoula now because we burnt the Erd Tree. We got a really, really weird like bow cancel like extended fall, but we're heading on through. This beast guy is a bit scary, but actually not as scary as it was in the 90% relay because we have a lot more health than Genso and Regal did. But we're just going to be running through Fair Missoula, just how you'd normally do it for 90% glitchless, because we are having the intention of fighting Godskin Duo and Malekith to take care of a couple of fights. I don't actually know if Mitch is going to go out of his way for plus 10 before these bosses. We'll see exactly what his plan is to balance DLC and main game progression.
Well, my plan is to get the plus 9 smithing stone here. It's the most direct on the path.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Then to go to the DLC, because we will now have a fully upgraded plus 10 weapon. We grabbed the plus 10 stone earlier before Moog. And so then we're going to get a just absolute ton of runes from some of the DLC stuff, and then we'll come back, finish off a lot of the base game stuff, then come back to the DLC, finish off a lot of it, and yeah, it's going to be just kind of a back and forth based on when are the runes most impactful for the run.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
We've saved the hardest stuff kind of for last, so that we'll have the most runes for the biggest safety.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, like Mitch was saying earlier in the run, the Somber Stones are a lot more convenient in the base game. There is a Somber 7 and a Somber 8 and a Somber 9 actually, like, in the DLC that we use for the Defeat Consort category. Because we're going through these areas anyway, we may as well just get the faster ones in the base game. So the goal here is to just get our plus 10, plus 9, plus 10 before the DLC. And then we'll be seeing some of my favorite bosses in the game, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to how these bosses are going to turn out. So he's going to be teleporting to the High Road Cross. Here we go. DLC time, chat. This is I'm excited for this. I'm excited because I don't know if we've seen much DLC stuff on marathon runs. I know you've done a couple of like 2 God or Defeat Consort runs for GDQs and stuff, but this might be the first SoulsSpeedruns Elden Ring DLC event. So I'm very excited to see how the scripts have developed over time and whatnot, and how we managed to showcase them for you guys. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are some cool scripts. First one that we've got is the Hippo. Hippo is technically an optional boss for the DLC, but it turns out it's faster to go through the front side of Shadowkeep than it is to go through the back side if your goal is to just get to Rau and Mesmer. So it ends up about 40 seconds faster last time we timed it. Might actually be slightly more than that now because we've optimized the Hippo strat a bit, but yeah, somewhere in that 30 seconds to a minute range faster to go through the Hippo. Also gets us more Skidoo fragments, which is an important part of the DLC progression, is these Skidoo fragments that we're going to have.
Yeah, for sure. I participated in Bingo Brawlers, which was like an Elden Ring tournament that was like DLC only and whatnot. And so I didn't have a whole lot of time to do speedruns of the DLC. So I actually am like kind of new to the DLC speedrun scene, but I just started learning like Defeat Consort, and it is like a very, very fun and fast-paced speedrun. I did not expect it to be this much fun. I prefer it over 90% glitchless, to be honest, even though I've done 90% glitchless for like a lot longer. So coming into the Golden Hippo fight here, it's going to be like really cool the way that we see Mitch take him out, because we are very, very powerful. We're using that Frost Grease to start out the fight here. And the goal is to get the stagger meter built up on...
Well, that wasn't
That's-
quite what I was looking for.
Did
That's
he
scary.
just eat you?
He literally ate him. Yep.
Now I have to get
I
the
ran
DLC.
a little bit slow, and so I got caught there. Let me do it again. Hold on. How much freezing grease do I have left? 4.
Is it
No, I don't
perhaps
need to use
blood
it on.
flame?
I don't need to use it on.
Yeah.
I can just blood flame blade him. It's actually identical either way. I probably don't think I needed to use it the first time anyway, but oh well.
Yeah, so the goal there for the opener and Hippo is to like strafe the eat animation, because he just kind of like chomps, but he like misses you completely, and we'll see if Mitch can get this here. It's one of the 2 openings that you can get. So chomp, he misses. Weapon art 1 follows it up.
Oh,
and so
don't normally
the
get
goal
hit
now
there.
is to just keep this stagger meter built up on him. We're gonna throw a throwing dagger to make sure that stagger meter stays. He tries to eat him again. This is a hungry Hippo, dude. Oh my god, this guy is feasting for blood right now.
You should have saved
Oh,
the
no,
snacks
please,
for
no,
him instead
please,
of
no.
Torrent.
We should have fed him a Mitchriz, dude. All right, so we're gonna stagger him with the weapon art combo. Gonna do a handful of R1s. Gonna do a nice silly little warping riposte from the left side of his body to his right side of his body. Gonna do a charged R2 into weapon art combo. We're gonna really hope the needles miss him. Oh my god, they did. They missed him. And we're gonna be just getting the second riposte by tucking into his little armpit right there. That was beautiful the second time around. Thankfully, Hippo didn't eat us again. Yeah, that was...
I'm just going to do a pivot warp to get all my health back, because I am low on resources there.
That was really scary, yeah. Hippo is one of the bosses of all time, for sure. Like,
For sure.
that needles attack that he did right at the beginning of second phase, like, it would have one-shotted him, because Mitch wasn't, like, high enough health to survive it. And it can even, like, double or triple hit you if you're, like, close to a wall or something. So, thankfully, we'd avoided those memes. However, the memes are not over yet, because we're in the DLC, and now basically everything will like one-shot us in running sections. But with proper lines and stamina management, we should be okay. Gonna be strafing this Black Knight. Gonna be grabbing a couple of pickups here on the way to the Shadow Keep. And yeah, I mean the DLC has officially started, guys. We're in it. We're in it to hopefully get a clean clear of the rest of the boss in the DLC. Gonna be picking up some more items. The only problem I can notice is that we don't have any kukris anymore. We're out of kukris. That was really scary. We are out of kukris, and that's kind of a problem for DLC enemies, because they are very dangerous, just like you saw right there. They can, you know, 1 or 2 shot you. So we are going to need to be very agile and swift with our dodges in the DLC. We're going to be not going up to the top of the Shadow Keep just yet. We're instead going to the Ancient Rao Ruins instead. Can you tell us why, Mitch?
It's because we're picking up a bunch of Skidoo tree fragments. So these are items that directly increase your power. So in the DLC, every time that you get a certain number of Skidoo tree fragments, starts out as 1 per level, then eventually it's 2 per level. It would get to 3 per level, but we don't get that many in this run. You can increase your damage. It's about 10% increased damage and about 5% decreased damage taken per level of Skidoo that you level up. So very, very important both for living and for killing bosses quickly. And they're just kind of scattered throughout, so we kind of do all of our walking before we do any of our killing, and that gets us as powerful as possible for the bosses.
Yeah, but there's kind of like a second reason why you would want to do this area first, is because there's an invader that invades you after a boss fight, because it's part of their quest line. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing the Grace right after their invasion box. So we're going to be avoiding that invasion completely and just circumventing that quest line. If you guys have played the DLC before, you'll know that there is a fight towards the end that it requires a very finicky set of NPC quest lines, and the order to do them all in is very, very convoluted. And I'm sure you guys all have questions if you haven't seen the run yet about how we handle that fight. And just now, we're going to be avoiding one NPC entirely from ever having anything to do with us in that fight. So that is why we choose to do the Ragnar the way that we do. And yeah, there's a couple of cool skips in the ancient route ruins. I'm kind of excited for you to show them off, Mitch.
Oh yeah, there's some cool ones for sure. Yeah, and that fight later, we will end up having with the absolute minimum number of NPCs. Turns out if you don't talk to any NPCs, there's only one extra one that normally joins the fight, and so we are only going to do his quest in order to avoid him in the fight, and then the rest we just are not going to do their quests, which is simple. That's easy to do. Just don't do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna be heading down the ruins, and there's a cool skip coming up here, where we're gonna be taking advantage of a tree, actually. Which, if you know, if you've been following this game, trees are solid collision. They actually like have enough collision to like stand on in this game, and because of the way that this level is vertically designed, we're gonna be able to drop down onto a tree. Gives a little bit of fall damage. That's okay. We're gonna drop down, and we're basically skipping like half the area of like running essentially by doing that. We're gonna be just skipping like the maze of progression in Rao Ruins where you have to run through like certain corridors, take spirit springs up and whatnot. We're just gonna be skipping all of that by dropping down this tree. There's also one more skip coming up here, which is very, very cool. My mind was kind of blown by this when the first time that I saw this skip. It's very, very cool. I'm excited for Mitch to show it off, and I'll let him explain it as well.
Yeah, so first I'm gonna quit out just so that this fire golem, fire giant, whatever, doesn't try to kill me during the skip. I need to set it up very precisely, and I don't want to worry about him. And then we're gonna stand in a very precise spot and aim a very precise shot. So I'm just gonna stand right in this plant here, zoom in a bit to try to aim as best I can, line it up just right. That's a little too far left. That's a little too far right. That should work. It's a bit high, but we'll see. Boom,
there we
hit
go.
A pile of rocks. And that unseals
really
a
cool.
spirit spring, which is a unique mechanic to the DLC where there are these sealed spirit springs, and you can unseal them in order to basically get access. Normally, you'd go around the entire area and then unlock it at the end, and the spirit spring is basically your shortcut to get back up here if you die. But we can just shoot it with a bow and unlock the shortcut right away.
Really cool that it. Oh, ugh, that's scary.
okay.
Oh my god, I hate this part.
Yeah.
So it's really cool, like that the rocks are just barely pointing out in the correct like pixel perfect location where you can shoot it with an arrow. I'm very surprised that they didn't like see that coming of us to just be able to snipe it. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm glad that Mitch got to show it off first try. So now we're talking to an NPC. This is the Horn Scent, part of the convoluted quest line the DLC has to offer. The way that you do this quest line is you have to break the rune, which we did when we entered Shadowkeep, and that like triggers a whole convoluted set of quest lines, whatever. So all you have to know for this, like, the fastest possible way to do this quest line is to talk to him, and then don't do anyone else's quest line. And then we'll explain later how to complete it, but yeah, he's the only important NPC you have to talk to for the easiest possible experience later. But now, we're fighting Godskin Duo, because, why not? We're plus 10.
Oh, oops.
We don't have sleep arrows on.
That's, yep, that would be a bad thing.
That's okay, though.
Okay, salvage.
First one's to sleep.
Oh, just missing.
That's fine.
Lock on in this game is great.
Okay.
There we go. Whew.
Okay. We're fine. We've escaped the quote-unquote danger zone of this boss fight. Now we just need to do a couple of precision strikes with the Bloodhound's Fang Ash of War. There's the delayed bleed proc. There's a charged R2. As you can see, we're taking our opponent at the minimum possible health that he could possibly be. Gonna get some damage on his dying corpse. Very, very nicely done from Mitch here. His health their health bar is just so low. I actually haven't seen this fight in this category. Their health bar is just like nuked. And there we go. Oh my god, that actually one cycle? That's crazy.
That one cycles.
I haven't seen
Very
Godskin Duo. Yeah, I haven't seen Godskin Duo in this category. That's pretty cool.
It's a
so
nice
yeah, the
one.
reason
I really like
the reason
it.
why we did it like that is because we're just kind of like ridiculously OP at this point. Like we have like a bunch of levels, a bunch of like we're plus 10, which doesn't even happen at 90% glitchless. But But yeah, really nicely done. It showcases like the level of routing that went into this run. Just, you know, efficiently going back and forth between the DLC and the base game to get very, very overpowered and also be ready to take on DLC bosses later. So I'm enjoying this run, chat. I don't know about you guys. I don't think we have any more time for Torrent to get fed raisins, unfortunately, but if you donate, we'll intentionally lose time to go to an area where you can use Torrent so we can feed him
I'll do it.
Torrent
I'll do
day.
it.
Yeah.
If we need more torrent feeding, I will go to an area where torrent is, because otherwise we're indoors the entire rest of the way.
Yeah. So we're doing a little skip here. It's called bird skip because you skip a bunch of birds that are dangerous and blood hungry. You also skip a dragon. You skip an ancient dragon, which is very, very scary to deal with. Mitch there hitting the bow cancel. Also, getting to this part of the game where you're not supposed to really be right now. I don't know why you're able to get down here so easily if you're not supposed to be here right now. But besides the point, we are skipping the birds. And here is a little beast man right here. I say little, but he's like 2 times the size of our character. We're going to be doing some time jumps across this little lip of but yeah, we're gonna be running up on to Malekith, who is the Black Blade. He is a guy in the lore who
He certainly
I think
is.
he's Marika's shadow, and he stole Destined Death, I think, and now we need to get it back from him to burn the tree or something like that. Listen, I'm not a lore master, but
I thought you
I
were
did my
the
best.
lore master.
I did my best.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
I did my best. So coming up on Malekith here. It's gonna be semi-scripted if we get a charge. We got a charge. Do a charged R2. Gonna bait out this slam. Very nicely done. Into a charged R2. Into an R1, which will get us a stagger. We're gonna take this riposte. And luckily, we're not gonna phase him just yet. We're gonna phase him with a weapon art right here. That way we spawn in the correct location in phase 2. Gonna be getting him to jump. Gonna do a charged R2. Into weapon art combo. Beautiful stuff here. The riposte should take him out. Oh, not even take a riposte. Wow,
Don't
just
even
gonna kill
need
him.
it. It's slightly faster not to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys are just seeing like the level of damage, dude. We are just so overpowered right now. We are disgustingly strong. So once we kill Malekith, we're going to be quitting out here to trigger the cutscene and the black screen that follows it. And yeah, the Erd tree is burned, and we are now in the ashen capital of Landil. I think Mitch is just gonna go to Gideon now. We're not pivoting out just yet.
Not just yet.
Okay,
it
cool.
will be after Godfrey / Horaloo that we'll pivot out again.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So the reason why we kept this until just now is because, like we keep saying, is that we're just trying to get +10 first, and then we come back here. And the idea is to get that DLC progression, get some runes, get those level ups. That's why we're so strong right now. That's why we're so, like, we're able to take out bosses so quickly, is that we just have a very, very strong weapon. And coming up is either a complete pushover or your worst nightmare, depending on how you how it goes on your first attempt. I don't know. I feel like the consensus on Gideon is either it was like a cakewalk on your first playthrough because you got that, like, time to hit him before he was doing his little speech, or it's like complete nightmare mode where he's just spamming spells at you. Luckily in the speedrun, it's kind of a cakewalk if you can do it correctly. It's pretty precise, but you want to wait till a certain part in his speech to hit him. You want to wait until
This might be too
he says
late
what a
now.
sad state of affairs. That's okay. I think you're
Works.
fine.
Yep.
You do a backstab, and we're doing a very precise aimed weapon art to dead angle him.
Oh. That was not what we were looking for. Okay.
It's a nightmare. He heals. Oh
It's a
my
nightmare.
God. It's a nightmare. Please. Okay, he's out of heals, thankfully. Needs some running arm. Okay, he gets the roll.
Woo!
Oh my god, that was
Okay.
so... I was stressing, dude. Oh my god.
Not even remotely scary at all.
Not at all.
Nah. Well, in this run you have more HP, so it was a little bit less scary than on any percent glitchless like health. But that was, yeah, that was quite concerning. So I'm glad that Mitch got through it. We're through the worst of it at this point, I would say. Fingers crossed. Gideon, literally the worst boss in the game. Well, maybe not the worst boss in the game, but he's up there.
He's up there. I think a DLC boss, you know, still gonna take that cake, but he's up there. If you don't get that early kill, he can just spam so many spells, and they do so much damage. I didn't get hit there, so you didn't see it, but even with this much health, they can come close to one-shotting you. It is a ridiculous amount of damage.
Oh, that's actually a good point. In chat, somebody said that his triple rings got replaced by Moog's Blood Flame because you killed Moog. That's actually like interesting, because in 90% glitchless, he has like a very basic moveset of spells. It's not very complicated at all. But the more remembrance bosses that you kill, the more spells that he gets. And so in this run, we kill Moog, which has a spell, and he actually uses that instead of the golden rings, which is a very good point.
I didn't know that was instead of the golden rings. I thought it was in addition.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But we're approaching Horalu. The goal here is about the same as most bosses in the game. We're going to be building up some stagger on the boss by doing charged R2s and R1s. I think it's 2 charged R2s and 3 R1s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 3 charge. Okay, it is 3. And then we're going to be going for backstab.
Yep, I actually want to do slightly less damage here at the start so that I can get enough damage going into the phase transition.
I see. Okay. Yeah, so the reason why we want to do that way is so we can build up more poise damage while we're still in phase 1. That way, this Horalu copy that gets sent up from underneath the floor in phase 2 carries that poise damage over, and that way we can do a stagger right away off the bat, as you saw there. Very, very nicely done. Very nice script there. And then from this point, we're going to be pivoting out back to the DLC, because we don't want to do the first god just yet. This is a 2 gods run. We're not doing the first god yet. We're going to be instead heading up the Shadow Keep to make progress towards the second god. Got a bit of a running section up here. We're just going to be running up the Shadow Keep, doing some actually really cool parkour up the Shadow Keep. There's some cool things you can do, like with the routing here that I actually was learning when I was learning the Defeat Consort speedrun. You can actually, like, instead of going outside and around and up like stairs and whatnot, that you can do a skip based off of this specimen that's hanging up right here that Mitch is gonna walk over in a minute. We can actually use the specimen to our advantage to do a skip, which is kind of cool. The way that Mitch does it is actually like faster than the way that I do it. He like jumps up and just is able to just do it right away. You want to like use this arm to your advantage here. The arm doesn't have great collision, but the way that Mitch does it is pretty easy. Yeah, there it is. Very nicely done.
Yep. You gotta sort of jump. There's like a middle section that doesn't have, you can't walk on it, so you kind of have to stay on the right at the bottom bit, and then on the left at the top bit, so I just kind of do a sideways jump to transition from one to the other. Here there's going to be a guy that's almost always going to throw flames at us, and I'm going to have to dodge it precisely if I can hear it right. Okay. He's not even going to throw flames.
Attack.
Wow.
Okay,
Lucky.
cool. Yeah. So now we're going to be doing a very cool skip that's also dependent on your frame rate, which we're going to hope that it works out in our favor.
I've got the FPS fix on. We'll be fine.
Cool. Yeah, so there's a skip here where we're going to pull a lever, and it's going to send the specimens rotating upwards towards the boss.
He is in my way.
He is in your way, so hopefully he doesn't interrupt you. So the goal here is to jump off this platform onto the moving platform. Boom.
Nice.
There it is. Nicely done. Yeah, so if your frame rate isn't like perfect, by the way, you actually just like can't land that. I mean, you can, but it's very, very precise. So as you can see, FPS does like make like a really, really big difference on skips like that, which is kind of funny. Like how that little distance is able to impact you. So also, like I pointed out earlier, we don't have kookeries, so we're going to be sneaking past this Fire Knight. Very clever little strat here from Mitch. he would normally be aggroed onto us, and we would block our way as we're opening this door right here. But however, Mitch just snuck right past him. We're able to just get, right by him for free, which is really, really nice. And we are now heading towards the based serpent, dude. The based serpent Mesmer. Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite bosses in the DLC. Very, very cool. He is required to beat the DLC. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do a very specific setup where we get just the right amount of stagger damage on him going into phase 2. I'm going to start by quitting out on this door because it's actually so slow to open. I think it's faster to fully quit out and load back in than to sit through the door opening.
Yeah, I think so too. I think RT8's faster. So the goal here is to get a charge attack off, which is going to deal a bit of poise damage to him. We need 4 R1s as well, so that's 2. We also need another charge attack, but we'll see how Mitch flexes the strat to fit his current situation. We're going to be doing a charge attack now, and then it should be just 2 more R1s if his poise has not regened. Boom, there it is. Good stagger. Now we need to do a riposte to reset the stagger, and then try to build another one up by doing a charged R2 again. Procs Frost. There's an R1. He needs 1 more to proc bleed. There's the bleed.
Play this safe and just heal. Gah!
And then we're going to play it safe. We're going to roll. Charger 2 does a double hit right there, actually. It hits the snake and Mesmer. We get a stagger off of the phase transition. Very beautiful stuff. We're going to see if we can get a Frost proc. And now we need to rush towards the summon sign at the front of the arena. That is the Horn Sign NPC that we were talking to earlier. Yep, looks like we got it off. Pop the Golden Horn Tender. Use our runes. There he is. Thank you, Hornson. Thank you for helping us out in this fight. You were a big help. Thank you very much, dude. You got your revenge on Mesmer. Good stuff. And now...
Oh, I love his speech. I got to listen to it.
Ah!
I love that yell. And then we have to quit out in order to just move him to the end here so that we can talk to him, finish the sort of quest for him so he's not going to invade us later.
Yeah. So the quest line for the Hornsen NPC is to talk to him once at High Road Cross, summon him for Mesmer, talk to him twice, and then at that point he kind of realizes that Mikola is not so great after all, and that he now has completed his quest for revenge, and he would invade you right here because he's so bloodthirsty for more revenge. However, if you just get the Romina Grace right before you fight Mesmer, it doesn't really matter. You can circumvent the invasion. So here we have Romina going right into the next boss. Romina the Saint of the Bud. She is a bug that resembles a very similar boss in Dark Souls 1 and in Dark Souls 2. She's similar to both Quelaag and Najka. She's kind of a hybrid between all of them. So gonna be doing some charge attacks, gonna be doing some R1s here. She has a much less poise than Mesper does, so it's way more chill to get a stagger on her. Mitch doing some crazy dodges here. Getting some R1s in. Get the riposte, and now we're moving to phase 2. Gonna see if we can get a little weapon art to fade away from her. We got it, that's okay. And now we just are going to go back in. For some reason, these butterflies deal damage to her for some reason. I don't really know why. It seems kind of like an oversight that the bugs can hit her and damage her. Stagger right before the fly, that's beautiful. She was going to fly up and stall for like 7+ seconds, so I'm glad that Mitch was able to get the stagger right there, right in time.
And another one.
Another
Finish her
stagger,
off.
huge.
That was pretty much the cleanest Romina I've had in like practices and such. That was, she did a couple of scary attacks, but it all turned out really, really well. So glad about that.
Yeah, that was really nicely done.
Elden.
Yeah, for sure. And as I mentioned before, I mistook this as the ceiling tree. I mistook the urge tree, the ceiling tree. This is the ceiling tree. And when you burn this, Enter Elim unlocks. It's kind of like the Shadow Castle in front of Bellarat, the Tower Settlement. But once you burn the ceiling tree, Enter Elim is available for you to go through and complete. And now that we've set up the last god, we can now head towards the second god. And it looks like I won an SCM mug. That's very cool. Not at all rigged towards the commentators.
Rigged.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not rigged at all.
Not
Chat,
rigged at all.
make sure to spam not rigged at all.
Yeah. And Mitch will give Torin a berry if you spam not rigged at all.
Indeed. All right, Enir Ilum is actually like the scariest section probably of the entire run. It is like an absolute mess of an area where everything is trying to like shoot a million projectiles at you all at the same time. Ow, ow. These guys can actually curve their shots, so they'll like hit you even after you're out of the line of sight.
Yeah, these like Spyro spammers are like insane in the DLC. Like this area is just the worst running section in the entire game. I feel like there's also a horned elemental warrior that's very, very angry that you're here. However, Mitch can do a quit out here because that'll reset his aggro, and he also won't aggro again. So the goal here is to get past these stairs, which are very, very scary.
Give me the backstab,
Oh my
please.
god. Oh my god, yeah. If you backstab these guys, even with like a fist, it just one-shots them. So, yeah, cool stuff there. And now we're heading towards the other Spyro sim, which is actually unavailable. You cannot get this guy without going through this door. So, kind of rigged, I'm not going to lie if you think about it.
Yeah.
Kind of rigged for speedrunners.
But, yeah, I'm just going to quit out there for safety because, like, it just stops them from attacking me. I'm also just going to rest here at Disgrace. Just don't want to lose all the progress in Enir Ilum. We've got a few scary sections left, so...
Now, if you were a certain runner that totally did not splice their run to go up the Enir Ilum stairs, you could have done it. But
I could have done it.
I don't know.
That's true. That's true. I could have. I don't have those kinds of skills.
But yeah, we are heading towards Enir Limb, or the top of Enir Limb. Gonna completely destroy that bird before they do the Ghost Flame burst attack right there. We are then going to strafe these other Ghost Flame circles. I don't know what you want to call them. We're being attacked by geometry right now. But we're okay. We're safe now for the most part. However, there is one last enemy, two last enemies actually that can ruin our run. But we're gonna hopefully not deal with them. This one's gonna go for a stomp. Okay, we're past the stomp.
Easily.
Very nice. Cool. There is one more enemy that can stop us, and his name is 3 Quit Out Guy. And I want you guys to guess why we call him 3 Quit Out Guy. You have like 10 seconds to guess before I reveal the answer, or before Mitch reveals the answer himself.
Well, see, I'm going to reveal the answer that since this is an RTA marathon, it's actually faster to sneak by.
So we were not quitting out on 3 Quit Out Guy.
Never mind, he saw me. I tried to sneak. He saw me. He's back to 3 Quit Out Guy.
I called it. We're showing it off for the
knew it.
marathon.
Completely intentional strat.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to like sneak around the outskirts right there. I actually totally forgot that you would do that for an RTA marathon. But yeah, we just want to quit out for this guy because he summons 3 wind tornadoes and then shoots it at us. And it's about 3 states long in length. So you don't want to be caught in that. And also he has like a wind uppercut here to like dunk us into the floor. So we're going to hopefully not get hit by that. Nice, we dodged it. And now we're going to do like, I think one more quit out on this Grace right here just to make sure that he doesn't like chase us down and kill us. So
a little pivot quit out so that we can kind of both activate the Grace at the same time as deactivating the enemy.
Yeah. So we are essentially done with the running sections for this game pretty much, right? Because it's only like bosses left from this point onward.
It's just bosses left. That's it.
That's cool. Cool stuff. So coming up here is what we were talking about before with the NPC questline that we were doing. This is Letta and her companions. She's the one that was outside Mikkola's egg talking to us about how great Mikkola is and how much of a savior he is. However, once that great room breaks, everyone's kind of like, wait a second. Why are we loyal to this guy? And we are here to teach them a lesson about why you shouldn't be loyal to Mikkola, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, the lore is something.
We're gonna summon our boy Sanguine Noble and Natan, the goat.
Natan,
We
the
don't really
goat.
know why he's here, but he's here. Natan is infamous in the lore for I don't know, being a person, I guess.
Being a cool guy.
Yeah, so we avoided the horn scent in this fight because he is now fulfilled with his revenge. He's killed Mesmer. So we're now fulfilled with his revenge, and now we just have to take out Dryleaf Dane and Letta, the two remaining companions that are loyal to Mikola, regardless of the charm being broken. So, gonna try to do a little script here. The status effects. That's Frost. That's Bleed. Nice. Very, very nice done. So, Letta is quite something. We'll see if Mitch can get this loop off. Boom. Stab. R1. R1.
Oh,
stab.
That's not quite right.
Oh my god. Okay. You're good. Now, what he can do is wait for Natan, or he can just kind of like go for it anyway, which would make more sense to get that loop going. Boom, that's a stab. There's our boy.
No! I
No!
thought it was a bad time to heal. Oh, exactly as I cast the heal, she went for the ranged attack that one-shots you.
No!
Dang it.
Yeah. So this is Gideon times 4 potentially if you had all the NPCs in the fight. This is what people call the worst fight in the game for a lot of different reasons. In this run, it's a bit better because it's only 2 instead of potentially 5. But yeah, it's still not great even with 2 because I mean, as you can see, we're kind of like as powerful as possible, and it still doesn't really matter because you can still get one-shotted. So.
Needle Knight Ledder and Dryleaf Dane will never allow this.
I don't know.
All right,
it's
so
it's
I gotta
not
do
fantastic.
a slightly different script here on the second try because I'm not gonna have extra frost grease for it. I want to save that for Radon, so
Yeah. So that's
just do one extra. Oh, that over damage. That was not supposed to do
You're fine, I think, as long as you get a bleed.
Yeah, okay. If I have
you
to do it
summon
again, I've got to wait. I did summon Natan, but he's
He is yeah, he's queuing up right now. He's trying to join in on the raid, but he's a bit slow. His internet's not working pretty well. So at least Dane's heal is gone now at this point. Literally being chased down by 2 bullies. This is not a good look here. So Dane, once he gets the golden nail off, is like a lot more aggressive and also a lot scarier and a lot more reactive with rules. That's a scary hit right there. He's out of heals, so he can't heal anymore, which is luckily a good thing. As Natan is getting beaten to the ground by Letta right now. That's a brutal beating to Natan. Mitch dodging a circlet of light. Oh my god. Dane throwing out his own circlet of light. Oh my god, he's spamming! He can't do that. He's not allowed. Okay.
He is not allowed. Finally.
Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to kind of be patient with Letta. There we go. Wait for Natan to get aggroed onto Letta. Then she will go for him instead. He eats all the damage for us. Very, very nicely done. Bleed proc. Oh my god! Okay, Letta's out of heals too. Nice. Okay.
How did that attack miss?
Oh my god.
Fine. It was all planned and calculated.
Okay. We're good. We're finally good. Okay. We're out of the woods.
That was the easiest fight I've ever had.
Now, there is still a boss that is arguably harder than this one coming up in just a second here. We're going to be fighting Radon, the consort of Mikola. So instead of fighting 2 gods, we're fighting 2 gods and a lord. Okay, we're adding an extra. It's a 2-for-1 special. It's 2 gods and a lord. You guys cannot get a better deal anywhere else besides Soul's Charity Marathon.
All right, I'm going to equip the armor that you get from Leda because it actually has a special effect where it increases the damage of your rolling and running attacks, and we're going to do a couple of those through the final fights here, so might as well. And I'm also going to grab for safety, for marathon safety, this Grace up here. In like a world record attempt, you might not grab it because you don't need it, but we're just going to level up our vigor, have a bit more health, hopefully not get one shot by anything.
Yeah.
And try to go for a super fast kill on Radon if everything works out well.
This script for first phase into second phase is really, really cool. Like, I hope that we can get this, like, first try. I hope that we can get the clean script here. But just listen to it, man. It's cinema, man. The OST, him flying in with the gravity thrust. We're, oh my god, we're getting stalling right away. Uh-oh. Okay.
That's not the worst thing.
He's not playing nice, but that's okay. Luckily, it's in first phase, not second phase. The goal of Consort Radon is to get these parries off. And we need 3 to stagger him. And we also get an R1 in between each parry, which is really nice. And there's the riposte, or there's the stagger. There's the riposte. The goal is to keep on him and don't let him rest. We need to make sure that his poise meter is as low as possible into phase 2. The goal is to not take the second riposte. We'll see if we can get a good attack here. Okay, that's a good attack. And just do R1s here because we're phase 2ing him. But we're also building up poise damage, okay? We're going in for a stagger in phase 2. That's okay. Nice, get a stagger. That's huge. Boom. And now phase 2 has officially begun. The goal here is to get these parries off at the right timing, get those R1 punishes off, get those riposts off. There's a not so great attack there. He's going to stall for a bit. That's okay. We're going to do some bone darts to stagger, or stall the stagger.
Unlucky.
That's very, very unlucky. We get some more damage off on him, though, to keep the stagger going. Another parry. Kind of also a bad stalling attack, but it's okay. Do a rolling R1 there. Some more parries. Gonna get the riposte off. And the goal here is to get 2 procs of Frost and Bleed in sequence in order to get the quick kill. We're gonna see if he can do it before he does the 1/3 HP meteor crash. No!
Oh, one shot. Oh.
Dude. Yeah, I don't know. Mitch was getting very, very unlucky there, so that was just a very, very unfortunate turn of events.
All right, that's why we grabbed the Grace there. We're not going to be able to get the full script now, but we can still get a reasonably good kill, all things considered.
But yeah, here you're just seeing how little the margin for error is on a boss like this. You have to essentially play perfectly for like 2 minutes straight, which is just a lot to ask, obviously, of a speed run, because you're just not as leveled up as you would be on a casual run. Gonna restart again. It's a little bit of a worse script this time around. However, we are gonna be still having the same goal of getting that phase 2 stagger. It won't be as scripted as it would have been had we have gotten the clean phase 2 with good RNG. However, it should still give us a good chunk of damage into phase 2. There's a bleed proc. Don't know how that parry missed. I genuinely don't know how that missed.
It's fine. It's fine.
Should be fine here. There's a stagger. Boom, the jump R2. Gonna get a little bit of stamina before the riposte. Back to 120 poise. Gonna just build up some more poise damage. Try to get those parries off. Another big thing about this fight is stamina management is really important. Like, you can run out of stamina so easily. So Mitchriz is gonna be managing his stamina in between parries and in between R1s. This is like the hardest fight in Elden Ring, dude. This is like intense Elden Ring that you're seeing right now on the screen. Mitch is kind of killing it, so it's good to see Radon doing his classic phase 2 transition, as you would see in the base game. There's the meteor. He's coming in. Boom. Perfect roll to Mitchriz there, getting the roll off at the right time. Trying to finish off the fight with another parry combo into riposte. We'll see if he can get it. Radon's poise is fully regenerated by this point, so there's not really any chance for a stagger. However, Mitch doing really good damage now. Should be just a couple more parries and a riposte. Boom. Boom. And there it is.
I just went for it. Take him out.
There's the first god. There it is.
Very nice.
Nicely done. Very nicely done. So we're gonna
finish off the DLC.
Yep.
I activate this little cutscene with the crown. I don't know if it's necessary. It's not an official leaderboard category, but it feels like the proper end of the DLC to me. And now we get to go finish off the base game.
Very nicely done. Yeah, that was a good recovery for sure. It can't be overstated like how off script that fight was at that point because you had died. And as we know in From Software games, like the second try is never as good as the first try. But now we are heading towards the second god of the run, which is going to be the Elden Beast and Radagon. Really, really cool ending here because we just fight the two gods back to back. I'm really excited to see the Elden Beast fight and the Radagon fight from Mitch. Let's see what he has left in the tank for him. Man, this has been a fun run. I'm glad that I was here to commentate for it. This has been a lot of fun. So here we have Radagon. The goal here, the same as every other boss that we fought so far. Build up a stagger. You already know the deal. Very, very good strafe there from Mitch. He should be quite low on poise by this point. There's one more weapon art. Gonna go ahead and take the riposte here. We're gonna now get a stomping animation as he's getting up, which will let us get in another weapon art combo. We are just doing ridiculous damage right now. Gonna get another weapon art off. Instead, we're gonna do Magic Grease for the Elden Beast script. I actually completely forgot about that. Gonna be rolling this triple ring attack. Boom, boom. Nice strafes right there, and Radagon is down. And now we're gonna be golden vowing and eating that exalted flesh to get the max possible damage for Elden Beast. We are done with Radagon, and now it's time for Elden Beast. It's one cycle a bull, potentially. We'll see if Mitch can pull it off here. The goal here is to get a stagger before she decides to go ahead and swim away from you. There's the stagger, as you swim away. Perfectly done. Very, very nicely done. Get a couple more R1s here. Get a weapon art combo in. The goal here is to get a nice time to riposte in order to get the double weapon art at the end right here. Boom. Boom. And there it is. That's actually it.
There it is.
That's it. Two gods. Mitch
Very
has done
well
it.
done. GG, Mitch.
GG. We got time coming up, Mitch. I'll let you call it. We got time coming up.
As soon as we see credits is when it'll be time.
Very, very nice run, dude. GG's.
One more skipped cutscene and time. There it is.
There we go.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, that was a fun run. That was actually, by the way, that was on my PB pace. I have live split going on my other monitor. It was 2 minutes ahead of PB until we died to Leda. So really, really good run.
That was
there.
a good run.
Really, really happy with that. Yeah,
that was awesome. I'm just glad that it all went like well and that we were able to show off this run. And yeah, thank you, Mitch, for having me on for commentary today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for being on commentary. It was great that you know enough about it that you could just talk through it while I had to concentrate, because so many of those fights are so difficult. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Shout outs to Souls speedrunning. Shout outs to the Souls charity marathon and all the money that we have raised. And yeah, thank you so much for having me for not one but 2 runs plus commentary, and it's been so much fun. So yeah, hope everyone has enjoyed watching.
Awesome. Do you guys have any other closing statements?
I'll let you go first, Mitch.
Well, I think I feel like I just gave my closing statements, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, love to be here for part of those charity marathons. Always so great to raise money for a good cause. And if you want to see more Elden Ring speedruns, I guess you could check me out. I stream pretty much every day, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, just big thanks to everyone organizing the event, everyone behind the scenes, everyone running the constant giveaways, and just everyone that's been involved in hosting, restreaming. You guys put in a ton of work this weekend. I appreciate you guys for having us on for Elden Ring Bingo, Elden Ring 90% DLC plus regular base game Glitchless. I appreciate you guys so much for watching as well. The Souls community is one of the best out there. I know I'm slightly biased, but you guys are the best in my heart. I appreciate everyone who came out today and yesterday as well. Thank you, Hattie, for being a host. Thank you, everyone else, like I just mentioned before. Thank you, everyone, for hosting. And thank you for raising $9,000 heckin' dollars for charity, dude. That was an incredible marathon, dude. And I'm just so flattered to be involved in the run that was the one to finish it out. So just huge shout out to everybody involved in SoulsSpeedruns, dude. Thank you very much. And I guess as my closing statement, if you guys want to watch me, I stream Elden Ring, Lies of P, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. Basically anything Souls related. My name is Blanks on almost all platforms, and you can find me there. But I will let Hattie and Mitch close out this run. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you all.
I think these guys did an awesome job with their closing statements there. I do have a few myself. I just want to say how proud I am of this community. I've been a part of it for nearly 8 years now. And yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. But yeah, I'm very extraordinarily proud of this community for the money we've raised over the runtime of the Souls Charity Marathon. And we do have a video to play during the intermission coming up. So don't go anywhere. And also we have a quick speech from Ashwin. So yeah, stick around.